O.C.G. And I'll play on live playing Jak And Daxter Precursor Legacy, a game that I absolutely love and adore. I already have the Platinum for Jak And Daxter on PS3 and on PS4, and they just made a new PS5 version with new trophies. So I kind of want to get that one too. Yeah!
I spent my life searching for the answers that my father and my father's fathers failed to find. Who were the precursors? Why did they create the vast monoliths that litter our
I love Samos.
How did they harness eco, the life energy of the world?
I'm having to
What
do
was their purpose? And why did they vanish? I have asked the plants, but they do not remember. The plants have asked the rocks, but the rocks do not recall. Even the rocks do not recall. Every bone in my body tells me that the answers rest on the shoulders of a young boy. Oblivious to his destiny, uninterested in the search for truth, and rejecting of my guidance. And why would he want to listen to old Samos the Sage anyway? I'm only the master of brain ego, one of the wisest men on the planet. So it seems the answer begins not with careful research or sensible thinking. Nay, as with many of fate's mysteries, it begins with but a small act of disobedience.
Hey! Jak, old green stuff told
It's so weird seeing the fucking human Daxter. Yes, I have, but I've never played Sheer and the Wonder or any of the Sheer and Wonder games. I've heard of it in the sense that I know the name. I've never played any of them.
Continue your search for artifacts and eco. If the locals possess precursor items, you know what to do.
Deal harshly with anybody who strays from the village. We will attack it in due time.
What are we doing here anyway, Jak? This place gives me the creeps. Huh?
The Precursor come. Where did they come from? Where did they go? Okay, that explains why, man. I'm not really big into roguelikes.
It sure don't look friendly. The Sage yaks on about the precursors that built this place all the time. Where did they go? Why did they build this crap? Now, I like precursor orbs and power cells as much as the next guy. But if you ask me, they must have been real losers. Wow! How did you do that? Jak, I think we're in trouble!
Roguelikes are games that have a heavily randomized element. So, like, random dungeon layouts, random enemies, and typically speaking, you have a run, and if you die, you have to start over with nothing, or a small amount of acquired things. But it's like every time you die, and you go into the dungeon, you start from a blank slate. That's what a roguelite is.
Man, that stung!
I love this so much.
You shouldn't have come here, and you listened! What?
Ah!
Okay, I'm fine. fine. I'm fine.
Well, not permadeath. You generally make progress in the story, but you just have to start over without your shit. And it's got a heavy element of randomization. So, here's a good example. Dead Cells is a roguelike that I actually like, and it's a pretty popular roguelike. You start the game, and the whole story of the game is to get out of that dungeon, to get out of that place, to escape to freedom. And as you progress through the game, the order that you go through the levels in the dungeon is different every time. The enemies that you find in the dungeon is different every time, and the layout is different every time. And whatever power-ups you have, if you die, you lose them, but you keep your general progress in the story. So it's like, it would be like in Dark Souls, or Elden Ring, if you died, you lost your gear and then they gave you new gear to replace it. But you couldn't, keep it when you died. You go into a new dungeon, new gear.
What in green tarnation do you two want? Don't tell me! Instead of heeding my wisdom, the two of you went mucking around in the only place that I told you not to go. Misty Island.
That's right.
And, you like games like Diablo, as far as I know. So I'm sure you'd like a roguelike. I'm not a big fan of randomized content in general. Because I don't think randomized content will ever be as good as handcrafted content. Like, on paper, it's amazing. It's like, we have infinite levels. But then it's just the same tile set over and over and over and over and over and over again. So this time, the room, instead of going to the left, it goes to the right. There's 1 pixel here instead of here. So to me, I like curated worlds, and randomized content will never match a curated game. I would rather have 1 dungeon that's handcrafted than 15 that's randomized. But that's just me. A lot of people like the randomization and the unpredictability.
And Daxter, you finally took a much-needed bath, but in a bathtub filled with dark eco.
Look, old man, are you gonna keep yapping, or are you gonna help me out of this mess?
I'm gonna keep yapping, because